Good evening, my name's Untitled.
And my name's Stephen Buscemi.
And you're watching Discussing Farscape.
Which episode is it? 4?
3.
Is it 3?
We're only 3 in.
No, it's not 3, is it?
We've got 100 to go.
We've got 100 to go. I'm not doing 100. Okay, well, besides anything else, right, any of the main story, any of this sort of stuff, one of the things that's really getting to me, 3 episodes in, is the format, is one of the parts of the format, right? So the 90s sci-fi serials, whatever, they'll have a fairly standard format, right? That they'll set up themselves and internal logic and things will happen in a certain way. That's fine.
Yeah.
The problem being with the way that they do it is that they'll set up some sort of circumstance, like here's a problem, that's fine, that's what happens normally. But then as they roam around the ship to address the problem, and generally it'll be some sort of thing with the system functions or something, it ends up coming across as like them walking around to solve things as a vehicle for them to stop and spur that exposition.
No, she's a comrade. Like you.
Now there's a load of bull. You hate her, right? You hate peacekeepers, and you hate her. You want her to die.
It's not like a moving, flowing narrative. It's like an idea, and then there's little chunks where the characters talk about their inter-character fucking emotional dynamic, and then they do something, and they stop, and then talk about their relationships and their cultural ideas and how they feel about with each other. And
Shot, reverse shot, and really bland sequences where again it's just they walk somewhere and it's just
like clunky. It's like how a high school student would like write a character. It doesn't come out naturally in their actions or their dialogue. It's like, and then the character stops and they explain who they are and how they feel.
And then the camera turns to fucking da da da, and then he says da da da, and then the camera turns to da da da, and then it zooms out, and the character 2 turns away and walks a couple of steps away from blah blah blah, right, as he says something dramatic. And it's like, okay. That's really fucking boring now. This is really tedious.
We're all hot. And we're all gonna be a lot better off if we stop just wasting time and just fix this blasted ship.
The problem gets worse when the main plot is based around those interactions.
Yeah.
Which is the main plot of this episode is Vala's relationship with everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
And her character development. So now what you see is that the main thrust of getting across the main story is the worst part about the formula.
Yeah. Well, they use her character. Also, the basic storyline of this episode is the ship. It flies through like a swarm of bugs. They enter the ship and like colonize it, start a nest. They start laying eggs and creating doppelgangers of our crew, and they crank up the temp, but that's part of like the environment they need to create the eggs. And Vala is cold-blooded. So
well, so all of them, right? So she's from a race of cold-blooded mammals that look, sound, act, and function exactly the same as normal human beings.
They're cold-blooded.
Well, they're missing, what did he say? They're missing the heat-regulating gland, I think the warrior dude said.
Biology.
Sebation heat delirium.
What?
Sebation's like the gland necessary to regulate extreme thermal increases.
Wait, Grace and those other bastards chasing us are cold-blooded?
So there's 3 plots in
Yeah.
the movie. There's the main plot, which of the episode, which is again Vala's character development and exposition.
She's dying. We don't want her to die.
And her grouping coming to grips with the fact that she's no longer, that she's an outcast, and that her relationship and how she's dealing with all the people in the ship, and the fact and how she deals with the imminent death because of the contrived thing. The second, then you've got glimpses of the overarching meta plot for the entire series, which is the
Peacekeepers.
The Peacekeepers. Fuck, that's a stupid name, right? So the peacekeepers, so that's fine. That comes into it as well, right? And then you've got the third subplot, which is the parasite.
Yeah. And their involvement and interaction with our crew.
So they set up with the parasite again. It needs heat, right?
Yeah.
And this comes out of Ben Browder's mouth, basically, right?
Yeah.
Oh, so you've been freezing in space, and so you've needed to come onto our ship to get heat so you can reproduce and complete your life cycle. And that's fine.
Yeah.
That's totally fine, except the fact that the setup shot of the cloud of parasites was right next to a sun. Like a sun.
Which I believe radiates heat.
Right, so the proximity to the sun would have been so much hotter than fucking the ship that they went into, which would be climate controlled and shield from the solar radiation.
Yeah, so these bugs would normally congregate towards the sun or go to a planet to reproduce. And they've chosen the ship in this case because it was there and
they're trapped, I guess. They're trapped, right? That's sort of their thing. They're trapped, frozen in space.
Yeah.
They can move around in space.
Yeah, but I guess they can't reproduce in space closer to the sun where the radiation.
No, well, they need heat. They need heat. But the sun's not hot enough, and the sun was closer than the sun is to Earth.
And then they just migrate closer towards it and then reproduce in space.
Well, if anything, depends how hot they need it to be.
Well, like, how hot does it get on the ship? Because like John and that.
Well, it can't be hotter than like.
It'll just be like an Australian Queensland summer.
Yeah, it's not going to be hotter than like the temperature to cook protein, which is like I think it's like what 60 degrees.
Yeah, because they weren't cooking.
Yeah, so they weren't dying.
Yeah.
Except Val.
Yeah.
Who can't regulate body heat.
Yeah. So we got that plot. And with that they tie in like the classic sci-fi trope of doppelgangers, which every sci-fi show pulls out. They had
the problem with the episode is that there are all these little logical inconsistencies.
Yeah.
So I'll give you one, right? I said this to you. Is that so the parasites they take pieces of DNA or whatever by spiking people, and then they collect it when they inadvertently take it out and not question what's happened.
Yeah.
Right? And then they form the doppelgangers, and then the doppelgangers do everything they can to increase the temperature.
Yeah.
Right? And so the other characters then have confrontations with them.
Yeah.
Physical confrontations with the worst punching, hitting sound effects on the planet. Public domain, punching effect, number 9.
Yeah, no, the punching samples were like 60s Batman.
Gee, you like his Batman?
There's like a John vs. John fight in the corridor, and there's an episode of Star Trek, the original series, called The Enemy Within, where Kirk fights himself, and they use the exact same use of stunt doubles and editing techniques as they did in the 60s, which is fine. It's corny and cheesy and low budget, and it worked and functions. Same film techniques are these 40 years earlier.
I think again, and I think that the problem is not necessarily that they use those shitty sound effects, or that they did the low budget versions of how to do something like that. That's fine.
Low budget, obviously.
That's fine, right? It still works. It's close enough that it's as if he's fighting himself. That's fine. But it's everything else.
Yeah.
Right? They just kind of detract. So again, the first logical inconsistency is that, doppelgangers, blah, 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 and then one of the bugs gets, what's her face, the blue woman, gets it with a spiny thingy that injects poison, so now the parasite queen...
Talks through her body.
Talks through her, and so they're all, Ben Browder, Discount Wharf, and I think Vala in a corridor doing something, and then all the clones come out from the corridors or whatever, and the blue woman comes out, but the real one, we know it's the real one, I guess, but she's got the poison thing.
Yeah.
And Ben Browder said, no, she's not a clone because the other clones can't speak. But the only reason that he knows that they can't speak is because none of them have ever spoken.
Yeah.
So he just makes like a logical jump.
Like, yeah, I guess in his interactions with the other clones, they haven't said anything.
So therefore they can't speak.
It's now a fact. They can't speak.
So therefore she's the real one.
You attacked me during my genesis, and you must die.
What the hell is Genesis?
You asked the wrong warrior. This is one of them.
No, it's the real Zan. She's talking.
So let's talk about like the third act of this, which is the Marauders, Peacekeeper, mercenary.
Well,
guys.
set up the Marauders first.
Yeah, so they're like an infiltration, like commando faction of the Peacekeepers who hunt people, and they're like the badasses, like the SWAT or SAS of this team. And they're chasing whatever the ship's called, I don't know, Moira. They're chasing Moira, and Vala sets up this like crosshatch search pattern. You can't escape from them because they search in like a crosshatch.
Across the stars, specifically.
Yeah. Well, she sets it up in like 2D.
I'm like a, yeah.
Yeah, but obviously space is three-dimensional, so they're searching a crosshatch thing three-dimensionally in space.
Space is a big place.
Yeah, it's a very big place. You could easily slip through the cracks in a massive bar. And like, are they just searching random sections of space? I guess they're searching the section that Moira's in because there's plot and story.
Yeah, well, I don't know how they got the section that Moira's in.
There's magic.
Marauders follow a very strict search pattern. It's a crosshatch star pattern. Clean, efficient, no prey escapes.
Yeah, so they're doing the crosshatch, they end up infiltrating Moira, but I don't know whether it's been established whether they have like hyperdrive or warp speed in this. They need you to travel through the vastness of space. But once you realise you're in this crosshatch, like, you get the fuck out.
Yeah, go on. You guys
don't.
Completely different.
They just coast.
Yeah, they just go. Also, right, so they.
They have to have a version of warp speed or hyperdrive.
Well, so in the beginning of the episode, they go to the cloud of parasites, and they're there. And this is where they're setting up the parasites, but they also set up the Marauders. Now, the Marauders are on the other side of the cloud of parasites.
Yeah.
And so it shows like the graphics, right? It shows, so Moira can detect the ship on the other side and they say, oh, well, there's a Marauder ship on the other thing, this is who they are. Oh, they're scanning. So they're scanning the cloud of parasites for a ship, which they don't know is there because they say they don't know we're here.
No, they can't pick them up. But Moira can pick up the Peacekeepers.
So that's fine, okay, whatever, maybe they've got something.
Yeah, they got better scanning.
Even though you can't escape the net, that's fine. Right, so, and then as soon as Moira escapes the scanning distance, which is not very far, it must be like 10,000 kilometers or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Very small.
As soon as they do that, the Marauder ship stops scanning and turns around and goes away. So it was scanning for a ship that it didn't know was there.
Yeah.
Past the cloud of parasites that it couldn't see through.
No.
And then stopped as soon as the ship that it didn't know was there was outside of the possible scanning range
Maybe
of
they
the
read
Marauder
the
ship.
script.
Maybe they read the script too.
Hey, that's another ship.
Doesn't know we're here. Debris is blocking their scan.
Pilot, stay behind the debris.
It's scanning. That ship is scanning.
They end up infiltrating the ship and they have like...
They're doing the commando thing, They
have like nice looking guns and nice sci-fi like suits, but the makeup choice is fucking baffling. Like if costume informs a character, you should be able to look at a character and the costume will inform how that character is, how they act. And so what you would want for commandos, military type, is like some intimidating war paint, like
camouflage or war paint, something.
Yeah.
You're either stealth or intimidation or something.
But what they have is like weird Egyptian eye makeup that's just been painted on clearly with eyeliner.
These creatures, whatever they are no real threat to us. We continue forward.
Sir!
Right.
it doesn't function with enhancing the characters, and it's distracting.
Well, it's not part of any aesthetic they've got.
Yeah,
it's not like a cohesive, because if you remember what the Peacekeepers look like,
yeah.
right, they're like, I don't know if you've ever seen Command and Conquer, I guess they're kind of like the Nod, they've got the red and the black, and he's got the something, I don't know, so, and we've never seen that before, and so, and it's not camouflage, and it's not intimidation. So it's just, okay, so can you imagine...
It's not cultural because we've seen the Peacekeepers.
Can you imagine the scenes, right? So they're getting ready for their mission and they're all doing like, and they're all got the eyeliner and they're all like intricately drawing their eyebrows above their eyebrows.
Yeah.
And they're doing the eyeliner. Can you imagine the dudes all doing it? They're all standing in front of them.
How did this get to this point? Did the makeup artist... Maybe they ran out of time. It's like, we're filming in 20 and she's just drawing on their faces like, go, we're on camera now, I guess.
It's just, and again, it's kind of a small thing. Like a lot of these problems I feel like are could be isolated, except for the fact that they're chopped in amidst of everything else. And it's just another thing to be distracted by. Yeah. And so again, if you look at, say, Stargate, right, and the Jafar symbols, there's actually, if you watch the entire thing, there's actually some really shitty drawn symbols.
There's some inconsistencies.
It's super inconsistent, right?
Sometimes you can see like his skin tone through the gaps of it, other times the whole thing's just gold.
Or the non-first primes with the black ones, and sometimes they're really dodgy as fuck.
Well, I give free passes to shit all the time. I watch there's a scene in Doctor Who where Tom Baker is holding a prop, and as he's talking about it, it breaks in his hands. And because of the time restraints and budget, he just rolls with it, and they just do it, and it's great. And Star Trek, the original series, is it's so corny and cheap, but you give free passes for other aspects of shine.
Again, the Jafar symbols are like cultural symbols. They're representative of something.
It makes sense within the narrative.
We know what they are. They're not, so again, if you were to say the elite Jafar, right, why do they have a shitty, it's not camouflage and it's not intimidation. Yeah, but it's like a brand.
It's cultural.
It's a thing. Yeah. You've set it up, we know why it's there. And
you got the Egyptian aesthetic, they explain it, it's like molten gold that's poured in there or something.
Well, then you've got like just the black ones for the non-blacks, and that's just a tattoo.
And it's also like a branding of the soldiers, the control, like we own you, you're a slave to the system. So it works culturally, it works narratively.
And then the SG teams will put on like full camouflage paint. Face paint.
Yeah.
So we know why that is, and again, it's just little inconsistencies that are just baffling, as you said, right? It doesn't add anything to it, and it's just kind of weird.
Yeah. So then the third act, it got kind of weird, which is kind of how Farscape was sold to me. Like SG-1 is like your action show, and Next Gen is like your morality play, and Farscape it's the weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird and out there.
Yeah, which I haven't quite seen yet. It got a little bit weird. You got all the John doppelgangers walking in and like confronting the marauders. I don't know.
Well, so
the music was good in this episode.
Well, the good things about the episode are the practical effects, as always.
The egg nest looks really good.
Yeah, the puppets and all that fucking shit. Except Discount Wharf, he looks fucking garbage still, for whatever reason, personal taste reason. But the music and the aesthetic, the laser effects were really cool. The gun laser effects.
Yeah.
I think I said to you is now they've got all the guns they've got like 4 assault laser rifles and 4 sidearms.
Nice.
So now they're going to use guns, right? These really powerful laser guns. No, of course not. They're going to disappear. That's my prediction.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, definitely.
They're fucking gone. But yeah, so you got all that. But the problem is the things that are wrong are like the bits and pieces of the formula. Like weird choices, decisions. Another really weird decision was the farting Yoda.
Yeah.
Like that is a great looking puppet. They managed to do.
Yeah.
They do really well in all the 3 episodes we've seen with showing him in shots.
Yeah.
They do really well covering up the fact that it's a puppet.
Yeah. His mouth is very articulate, can deliver lines really well.
They do sort of close shots because he's small and whatever, right?
Yeah.
And it works. But then for this one random reason, they decide to do a wide shot showing his full body walking, and it was CG. Fucking awful. Now, it reminds me of the Asgards.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And they kind of did the same thing. They used to have really cool puppets.
But then they couldn't walk.
They couldn't walk.
So when they had like a shot of them sitting down, someone had to use CG.
Well, even walking around, and they got better. But the first couple of times I showed it looked dodgy, but nowhere near as dodgy as this. It was blatantly bad. I don't know how it got past any.
I mean, there are lots and lots of ways you could frame that shot of fighting Yoda entering the pipe to convey the information that shot did. And as the director, you would want to use those puppets as much as you can. And I guess he didn't know how bad the CG was going to look, or someone above told him that they were going to use CG for that shot. But yeah, just frame it in any other way where you can utilize the puppets to convey the information that he's entering that thing. Because that shot broke immersion. It looks so horrible.
Well, the point being is that the shot goes against the way that they have been shooting farting Yoda to be able to use him. Right? It's just bad. There's no point to it.
Yeah.
It was not like a grand set piece that you wanted to zoom out and show him in his full glory or something. It was literally a transition scene. He's walking through a tunnel.
Yeah, and then it zooms out and shows the nest. But you can do that.
If it doesn't work, don't do it. It's really as simple as that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So another problem that I have, and I think that there's enough things like this about Vala's storyline in this episode. The fact, so she can't regulate heat. The parasite needs heat to reproduce, so therefore they're futzing with the life support systems to increase the heat, and so therefore she's going to die a horrible, horrible death.
It's up to you.
Aeryn, no, I'm trying to.
Before the living death takes hold, you have to be prepared to kill me.
The MacGuffin is heat regulation, and whether or not she can do that. And to me, the whole thing is totally contrived.
Well, they're not intelligent in preventing her from overheating. She's laying on a bed, like a pillow and stuff.
You've got all the clothes on.
Yeah, like, we are only modest about nudity because of our Western religious
She's
upbringing.
going to die.
Yeah, so strip her off.
Well, so again, right, so they spend 3/4 of the episode normal.
Yeah.
She's normal.
Yeah.
And then there's one throwaway scene where she's being
Showered
by
with cold water.
Presumably cold water.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you have cold water?
Why weren't you doing this in the beginning?
She was dying. Like, the stakes were this character that we care for is going to die.
Like a horrible death.
And nobody thought about the shower.
Well,
until...
How cold is the water? Presumably they're not showering her with hot water.
No.
So
cold water.
How much water do they have? Can they not submerge her in a tub of water?
In which case she's fine.
She's fine.
Crisis averted.
Because her body will adjust to the temperature of the water. That's how heat induction and whatever works.
Yeah.
More pressure. Hold the water.
I mean, all they needed was a throwaway line to say, like, oh, the showers are broken or the central water system is fucked. But I guess the writer got to that point and he thought, oh fuck, I forgot about the showers. I always have a scene where they're showering.
It's just like a throwaway scene. It's like, 1 minute she's like, on the thing, and then the next minute she's being showered. And it's like...
Well, there's your solution. Crisis averted. Should have done this at the beginning.
Well, it's not as if they convey the sense of urgency any. It's like they keep trying to say that she's got fuck all time left. Like things are ramping up, but it just keeps on going. There's the scene, there's the final like confrontation scene or whatever, where they're all trapped in a room, and then they're allowed to go out of the room and make the final confrontation with the Marauders and whatever, and they're basically saying their goodbyes or whatever so Varla's on the verge. This is just before the shower scene too.
Yeah.
She's on the verge, and they're like, and they go, okay, we're gonna go and finish this before it's too late, and they've just turned the temperature up even more. And then they keep talking to each other and talking, and all I can think is, you're wasting time, you're wasting time, you're wasting time, this character's dying.
They're trying to set up like an emotional connection between the characters, but as we said, the dialogue is really clunky, and the way it happens, it's not natural.
Well, there's no sense of urgency again.
Yeah, so all like the John Vala scenes are like, they don't function at work, you don't feel, you don't care about Vala, you're like, I don't care if she dies. I don't care if he dies.
Okay, I'm ready to die. Yeah, well, the pacing really just draws and draws and draws until you just don't care. You know, they're just kind of talking, and talking and talking and talking. It's like,
Well, they did better than IET, like that they set up factors within the narrative, which
at least it was
stakes.
like a decent sci-fi premise, I guess.
Yeah. There's one scene I really enjoyed that I laughed at very hard. When John's in his room and he first encounters the bugs, and this bug stands up and has like CGI legs. Yeah, the music was like this weird, like upbeat, like funk.
Oh hell, what did I just do?
It played like a comedy scene, and I think it was deliberate. He gets the bug in a pillowcase.
And he's not really slamming it. He's clearly pretending to slam it and swing it around on things.
So yeah, he's in his room swinging the bug around in the pillowcase, and it's silly and upbeat and corny. I'm like, I mean, if you're doing that, if you want to have like a fun, silly, corny show, then do that.
Yeah, do that.
And that scene was effective if that's what you're trying to do. But the rest was pretty serious.
They played it straight.
Yeah.
It just doesn't know what the fuck it's doing. It's inconsistent, and that's one of the worst things, is inconsistency.
Well, I think they just had shit writers, you know? I guess, I don't know if the writers were Australian as well, but there's not a whole slew of good sci-fi writers in Australia. I guess they just like come up with the premise of the show and just like, oh, we'll just hire a bunch of Aussie sci-fi writers. Oh, there are none.
Okay.
This guy wrote for Neighbours. This guy wrote for Home and Away. This'll do. They don't
have Home and Away Neighbours writers, do they?
I don't know. They might not even be Australian writers.
Yeah.
You'd outsource them to America, surely.
Yeah,
or
of course you could, yeah.
UK or, I don't know.
Literally anything.
They just couldn't afford good writers.
Well, did they change? Do you know if they had consistent writers all the way through?
I have no idea about the production or anything.
Well, I mean, apparently, so again, you know, apparently
It gets good.
It gets good.
Strike one. Strike two. Strike three. You're out.
I don't know. I mean, we're gonna keep going with it, I guess. I mean, we have talked about this. How long do you wait for it to get good? I look at the practical effects and I look at the things and it's like, I want to like this. I really do want to like it.
Yeah.
I like Ben Browder. I like Claudia Black. You know, I don't like Discount Wolf. I like Farting Yoda.
Yeah.
I like the pilot or whatever. I like the ship. I don't like the peacekeepers.
Yeah, the aesthetics are nice. They had nice like framing cinematography. They used a lot of like low angle shots and like Dutch angles to like show uneasiness.
How do you say we're screwed in your native tongue?
So they're getting some stuff. But yeah, in conclusion, for me, I think the best aspects of this episode were the corny 60s sci-fi cheese.
Gee Willikers, Batman!
John find himself.
I'll get you next time!
John swinging around the main antagonist in the pillowcase. the shitty, baffling makeup.
The complete incoherent, inconsistent, like Claudia Black storyline.
I mean, that's bad.
That's fucking awful.
The plot elements that fall short are bad, but I think they should just ham it up and just cheese it up and just get weird and corny and low budget and silly.
They are low budget and silly, and it's not. It is corny.
Then you just stop thinking they're a serious sci-fi show and just fucking
just embrace it.
Yeah.
They can't pretend any longer. We see through you, Farscape.
Discount Wolf isn't gruff and angry. He's stupid.
It's stupid and silly. The last thing, the pinky.
Yeah.
So again, and with the clone doppelganger thing, right? It's like it inevitably comes up. How do we distinguish ourselves from the clones and doppelgangers?
Yeah.
And they're talking about it, and Discount Wolf is immediately pulls out a knife. It's like, we'll cut the tips off our pinky fingers.
We will cut off the tip of our small finger for identification.
So what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's a very low threshold to start cutting off body parts for him.
How soon? If that's his threshold for cutting off the tip of a pinky. How long before he has no tips to end of his fingers or his ears or his
We're
nose?
not cutting off body parts. Discount Wolf.
And I get it. It's like the fish out of water joke. Ha ha ha. He has different ideals and values. But also he's meant to be a warrior, and that's a dumb fucking tactic.
That's a really dumb
We'll cut off the top of our finger, we'll walk around fucking bleeding out everywhere, and we'll be fucking impaired physically and fucking in pain. You're meant to be a fucking warrior! They didn't even show him fighting in this episode again.
No.
Is he a warrior or not a warrior?
No, he's just a retard.
They need to expose that he's fucking inept and fucking...
He's the disabled special ed kid that you carry around. They should just eject him into space. I feel like he's a waste of energy and resources.
Well, he's part of the team. He's the tank. He's the combat. And
He's not
doing that.
He's not. That is an untrue statement.
So eject him.
He's gone. Hey, just can you look in the air thing there?
And he would. He's dumb as fuck. Just put like a roast chicken in there. And Wolf and his chicken. Alright, thank you for watching. Really help out if you bought Farscape on DVD and supported this amazing show.
What are you doing up in the dark?